It's really disappointing to admit that.
Eddie was like, whatever you do, keep your heads down.
I don't give a
Yeah, haven't eaten a carb in 6 years.
minging. You know what I mean? Who's this little that keeps getting yellow carded? It was your fault. And the bad thing for the club was it worked. It was carnage. Come on, we're having some fun, aren't we?
Right, mate, from World Cup disappointment to, this is a picture of us with the Triple Crown, but the year after, 2016, we exercised a few demons and we won a Grand Slam. And
Oh, nice.
There's the 4 Harlequins with a lovely photograph of you. A lovely smile. Still see a bit of your jaw there.
Oh, yeah.
Is this the start of the beard?
That was another. See, this is how insecure I am, or I was. This was another thing. I remember reading an article by Clive Woodward. I had a massive beard,
Right.
like a huge beard, and I remember reading an article saying, he was slagging it, saying, if I was still coach, I wouldn't let him have that beard. It's all about the 1%. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, and instead of putting 2 fingers up, I shaved my beard.
Shaved it off for
I
Clive.
trimmed it off.
For Clive. Oh.
It's really disappointing to admit that.
Did you like, I wouldn't even probably been aware of it in the time, but did you used to read a lot of stuff? Were you aware of what people said about you?
Yeah.
And you took it?
Because I obviously craved it. You can tell
Yeah.
I craved the attention, but then wasn't sure, still young. I was still like 25 and I was like, didn't know how to deal with any negative
Yeah.
tension, and then just put 2 fingers up to it all. But you do, don't you? You say you don't
I
watch
did
it or
when I
don't
was
care
young.
about
I
what
did a
people
lot more
think.
when I was younger.
And it's not until you get comfortable, really comfortable in your own skin,
Yeah.
that you go,
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't give a That was good though, wasn't it?
That was really cool.
That was unbelievable. You
It's one of my
started in that
favourite years.
Final game,
Yeah, I started in the
scored that
France
unbelievable worldie of a try.
game. Scored the early try, yeah. And then we went to win it. Night out in Paris.
That was mega. That was good.
That was a good night out.
Remember walking to that club though, when there was a massive England rose in the middle. Did they play God Save the
Can
Queen?
you remember? Eddie was like, whatever you do, keep your heads down. And we're
Yeah.
like, we won't draw too much attention to ourselves. We come in the back entrance of this club and it's like, welcome to the Grand Slam champions, the England team.
It's like
and we walk in,
a rose
there's
on
roses,
the screen and
graphics around the whole
everything
club.
going.
And everyone sung God Save the Queen to us as we walked in like absolute. And then that summer, we had a good trip.
Wayne.
Because I was getting married after the tour that we had in Australia
So the incredible Jodie.
to the incredible Jodie. And we took an unbelievable crew of us to Ibiza.
I was
on
honoured
my
to
stag
be
do.
invited to that. I felt really honoured to do that. It was an unbelievable crew. This photo is incredible
That's amazing.
because most of you put a lot of effort in. Carl Dixon, for example, like he put a lot of effort into his rig.
You didn't eat a carb for 6 months, he
I
reckons.
thought it was 6 years.
Okay, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, haven't eaten a carb in 6 years.
And he had to put a lot of effort into his rig because face butters, like minging. You know what I mean? And lid, especially now, lid gone.
Yeah.
Looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
who's the thing with the weird ears from Star Trek? Spock.
Spock.
He looks like Spock. So he put a lot of effort into his rig. So did Lufa, and you can see all the lads with great rigs in Ibiza up front. Notice all the rigs haven't just hid behind you boys. We've kept our tops on.
Vests on.
This looks like a normal sort of crew that goes to Ocean, what's it
mate.
called? Ocean Beach.
Ocean Beach with
That's
Big Wayne.
the sort of normal crew, typical, having their selfies with Wayne Lineker. And then you just move the hand and you go, who are these cretins at the back here who've just photobombed Conan with...
Ollie Cohn, Mark Lambert, yourself, and my good mate David Whittle.
That was an unbelievable stag do, mate.
Your first retirement. 2018, I believe.
First retirement, yeah. Sorry, Deese, I don't want to correct you here.
Is it wrong?
That's my second retirement.
You'd already done it once. Okay,
So the first retirement came off the back of your stag do.
because it was so good.
It was so good.
I'm just going to do this for a living. Party with Wayne Lineker.
No, that's the weird thing. I remember sitting on that boat
Yeah,
when we were going towards Cafe Mambo,
yeah.
and I was sitting on the front on my own, having a bit of a moment, drinking a glass of rosé.
Yeah.
I decided there and then that I was not really enjoying rugby
Yeah.
and wanted to sack it off. And then you went to Australia, didn't you? So it was
You didn't go to
pre-Australia.
Australia, did you?
And I turned around to Eddie and said, I can't. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was after all the sort of Gypsy Gate stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a lot going on and wasn't sure what's going on, so I thought it was rugby and just packed it in.
Was it the more being away from home you struggled with?
No,
or the pressure
I was,
of the environment?
I was trying to get to grips with who I was, what I was going through, what was happening to me, why I was feeling the way I was feeling, like just who I was. And again, I thought it was the pressures of rugby, that if I just take away that pressure, everything's all right. It must be that. There can't be anything else going on, is there? You know. So yeah, packed it in 2018, off the back of having a big old mental breakdown, like a bit hit rock bottom, and you know, ended up doing stuff and thinking about stuff that it was really worrying, and it was like, I need to go and get sorted here. I've got 3 kids. We had 2 kids at the time, 1 on the way, and it was like, hang on, these are the people I love the most. So I need to start working on myself to be better for them. And that was sort of where it was at. I just didn't know what was going on with me, so I needed to go and find the answers to a lot of the questions I had. And I did. I found a lot of the answers and started to work out why I was the way I was, and then cracked on with that. And then unbelievably was allowed to, not allowed, but was welcomed back to play for England again.
Yeah.
And it was mega to be able to do that.
Yeah, amazing.
Bear in mind, I've quit twice, and they're like, surely you can't come back. You've basically said piss off twice, and I know you've been vocal, and you have been vocal, both positive and negative,
Right.
about our old boss Eddie.
Yeah.
But I will say this: in 2016, when I went to him and said, "Look, I'm really struggling, mate. I can't come to Australia," he was incredibly supportive, and that was the sort of first human side I'd seen to him, and you know, hadn't seen it again until 2018 when I knocked it on the head again, and he was understanding the thing. And then when he welcomed me back, it was, so I'll give him that. I will give him his dues there, mate. He was, and you can only go off your personal experience of it.
Right, mate. Picture number 10. One of my favourite photos of all time.
Huge.
But mate, how good a feeling.
How good was that?
It was that for me, in terms of my rugby feeling, it's the best feeling I've ever had. The week before and then that week.
That whole, I agree with you. I concur with you, Mr. Kerr. That even tops the Grand Slam for me, if I'm honest.
I'd say.
It tops first cap, tops 50th cap, tops the Grand Slam, like all of that. The shower of that we were in, in halfway through this season, the breakdown of what had gone on at the club, to then go, well, hang on, we pretty much led a lot of that remaining season, senior players, in collaboration with the coaches, but there were often times where the coaches would come to us with, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we'd pretty much just go, no, we're not. Yeah. We're just whatever, especially around defence. If there was a defence drill mentioned, we would pretty much it off, and even if we did take part in it, we would turn it into an attack drill.
Yeah, we would.
Do you remember that one where you get off? It was a defence drill, and we would throw in missed passes. We like the props and the tight five were getting
like
at fly us and crossfield kicks. And the defence coach is losing the plot. Like, what's going on? I was
What's the
like,
point?
come on, we're having some fun, aren't we?
And it worked, didn't it?
And the bad thing for the club was it worked. It was carnage.
It's the most fun I've had as a rugby player.
To then go and do what we did, the way we did it, it was. I always thought I wasn't a huge football fan, and I'm not, but I always remembered the Newcastle tip. Was it Kevin Keegan's tip? You know, you score 3, we score 4, and that was the sort of the attitude we had. We went, this is how we want to play the game, and we're going to do it whether we win or lose.
Yeah.
It just so happened we had some incredible players
We did.
that could then turn around and win it for us.
Right, mate. Last couple. 2023. Somehow,
Yes.
DC,
He's back.
DC got the call up and got back in the World Cup squad.
DC's back.
Which I have to say, mate, in my prolonged England career, I think this is my favourite time. I really do. Even
In
though
your England
2016 was winning the Grand Slam was amazing, to get back in and to play in one more World Cup, knowing that I've been out for 4 years, this was my chance to come back and play with you again.
And like that, mate, you had a lot of mates.
A load of mates in
Like-
that team that I was gutted watching it for 4 or 5 years. Going,
Yeah.
all my Jamie was you were playing daily.
Faz, like, it was
all
just
the boys. And we had so much fun. We roomed with each other the whole of the World Cup.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was so
That
much fun.
World Cup was a great crew. It was a
Really
great
good
group,
crew.
really bonded.
And I still look back, mate, and I think we should have won it.
Don't think you should look back because that
It's hard, but
shouldn't.
we should have won it.
So you genuinely think we could have won it?
Yeah. Because
Well, we only got to the semis though.
I know we did, but we
it's not like
were
we
winning the
lost in the
semi
final
for
again.
78 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Which what kills me the most. And I always think back to that. There's one scrum where we're on their line, and I think we're already 12 up. And if we could have just kept hold of the ball there, either scored a try amazing,
Yeah.
or been in a position for Faz to kick another drop goal, and we go 15 ahead. They don't bring 15 points back,
No.
but 12 was just gave him a sniff, and they've got Pollard, the biggest clutch kicker in the
Oh, mate,
world,
when
and
he
then
kicked
that scrum.
it was heartbreaking. It was like, oh no, we could have done it because of the show going into it again.
Yeah.
We were the first England.
Sometimes that helps,
Hang
though,
on,
doesn't
you
it?
were on the pit. It was your fault.
Which one?
You were part of the first England team to lose to Fiji.
Yeah, that was a
at
big.
Twickenham.
That was a big fault of
And
mine.
a big memory I have is one of the kickoffs. I'm in the pod,
Well, I'd just
waiting for
come
the
on.
kickoff. You've just come on. It goes over the.
Goes over the pod. And
It's over the pod, and I turn and look at him. I'm like, yeah, DC will catch this.
I'd just come on, and it was like, right, these, just see us through, just get us to win,
Yeah.
because we hadn't won. And we won what? We'd won one.
We'd beaten Wales with 12 men.
We beat Wales with
Remember?
12 men. It was
Faz
like,
got
right.
a red card or something. It was.
There was 3 yellow cards at one point.
That was
wasn't
it.
there? Freddie Stewart, Genji, and Faz all sat on
Yeah.
those chairs. Let's
So
get
we-
extra chairs.
We lost to Fiji. World Cup prep wasn't exactly great, and all the media and everything around it was really negative. But in-house, we were like, we've got a really good group here, like
Yeah.
really tight. Been through a lot together.
Yeah.
A lot of senior boys in there. Steve, so a lot of us had played with or against Steve, so there was a connection there, and he was like, he understood it. He had a game plan, the way he wanted to play for this World Cup, and it was about getting everyone to just buy into that for that period, and we did.
Yeah.
Like,
You could sense it was clicking, couldn't you? And Steve, to be fair to him, he said, lads, I promise you this is going to click at some point,
Yeah.
and it might just click when we get over to France.
yeah,
I remember we had a couple of sessions in France, and I remember looking at it going, this is it.
yeah.
It's clicked.
But then you get to Argentina,
and then
and
you get
Curry
red
gets
card.
red carded, and we go, it's not clicking again. It's not clicking again. And 40 stands
the
up.
G Ford masterclass.
Unbelievable. Without him, mate, we would have been screwed. But I agree with you, mate. Well, it's hard because we haven't got a crystal ball.
Nah.
But what would have happened in the final? But I think if we'd have won that semi-final, so close to doing it, the way in which we did it against the reigning champs, we'd have been flying in that final. And what could have been yet again?
Ifs and buts and maybes. This is one that's quite personal to me, and I this is one of my favourite photos ever, because this was my 100th cap for England.
Oh, huge.
And I got to stand with you and Jamie.
Centurion.
Centurion, people.
Thank you. Loads of. I think a world record of amount of appearances off the bench. I think.
Huge.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thank
Huge.
you. Thank you. I am a record breaker. I firstly want to just thank you because you and Jamie and the rest of the boys made that week like the most amazing, special week for me that I'll never ever forget. How you boys, all the things you did off the field, all the messages, all the videos. It was incredible. And then the boys go out and played unbelievably well against Ireland, who were going for a double Grand Slam. And we win the game with a drop goal. You couldn't script it. It's like there's something about winning games with drop goals, which
What?
it's like it's the closest thing to a last-minute winner in football. I think it's better than a try.
Just for the week leading up to it, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You deserved it, mate. Like, you had a big group of friends in that. What you'd given to England over the years, what you'd been through in terms of resilience to be booted out the team for 3 or 4 years and then come back and perform the way you performed that team and lead the team, having been the young kid who would have Martin Johnson going, who's this little that keeps getting yellow carded? You know, to then go,
Big up,
oh,
MJ.
another lesson learned, another lesson learned. Oh, when will he ever learn?
Few of them, yeah.
And then become the senior pro that you were.
Jose, the last photo, and it does make me quite sad. I think it's your last photo in a Harlequin shirt.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This time you actually properly
Yeah, like properly.
retired. 2024,
3 and done.
done.
Done. Do you know what I mean?
Romeo,
Things-
done.
Think it's all these years you still don't know my name.
Can you why then was it the right time? Obviously, I think it was because you seem so happy now.
I've been asking the club to pay me out for months,
Right, yeah.
and they kept going, "Oh, it's just a Joe being Joe," and I was like, "No, I'm serious. I'm not happy here, and I don't want to spiral like I have done in the past,
Yeah.
as in spiral negatively for the team, like I have done in the past, where I have been a negative influence on that group, like many a time, and basically got like the club have always stood by me and have been unbelievably loyal to me over the years, and like Charles, the owner, I'll always be in his debt for what he's given me and how he treated me along the way. But because there were so many times where if it was at any other club or any other workplace, you're gone. Here's your P45 now. Off. And they didn't, and so they just thought it was. And I was like, I don't want to end badly here. I want to have good memories in there. My foot wasn't right. I didn't get that right. I didn't rehab it properly. And so that wasn't right. And then I tried getting back for England, went to Girona, couldn't keep up with all the young pups anymore, mate.
Yeah,
you know how it is. Like,
yeah, I do, yeah.
And it was kind of like, well, Finn's ready. There's loads of other boys available for England now. And it's kind of like, how long do you flog a dead horse? Like Steve was always like keen on experience, you know, brought himself back in and kept a lot of caps in because he wanted to his way is blooding the young guys slowly with experience. But I was like, I can't keep doing it, and if I'm not 100% behind it, then I shouldn't be putting my family through it still.
I love you, mate.
I love you too.
Thank you for joining us on Hits Different.
No, well, thank you for letting me join you, but thank you for all the memories we've had and that we'll have until we can't remember them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
be serious and genuine
Okay.
here. And you just
Well, hopefully you're
careful.
hopefully
Don't take me out with that.
Hopefully I've got a friend for life.
Yeah, you're in my top 5.
Brilliant.